Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to The Art of Violence. So there's a video that just dropped of Sean Strickland beating the absolute brain cells out of Sneako, the streamer. Just dropped within like the past hour. And I gotta say, it's kind of funny. I mean, Sneako really gets beat up a little bit. The Instagram clip doesn't look exactly how the full video clip looks, but when I first saw the clip, I was like, it took me a little bit to like, I knew what was happening immediately, but it was like, okay, that's Sneako. Okay, that's Sean Strickland. Okay, that's Sneako getting beat up by Sean Strickland. And Sean was going hard. Like, in the clip, you see Sean going hard. You see Sean, like, it looks like he's really trying to hurt Sneako. And that he did. And yeah, it was pretty crazy at first look. Sneako was, obviously Sneako doesn't have that much boxing experience. He's getting beat up all around the ring. Sean's just teeing off on him, and Sean's actually punching hard. Like, you can see he's throwing with intention. His hips are behind his shots. He's leaning into his shots. Like, he's really throwing. And eventually, I think it was Forrest Griffin, who I think like runs the PI, just came in and basically had to like grab Sean Strickland and throw him off of beating Sneako. So once you see the video, you see more context, and you see that they're going to do a round. It's going to be 5 minutes. And you see Sean say, all right, listen, for the first like 3 minutes, or it was something like this. It was like, for the first couple minutes, we're just going to chill. It's not going to be anything crazy. But towards the end of the round, last couple minutes, I'm going to turn it up, and you're basically going to regret this life decision. And boy, was he right. Boy, was he right. That's basically all I got to say. He was right. It's interesting though to see that. I mean, he was really trying to hurt Sneako towards the end. I mean, that was no joke. Like, he was trying to like put Sneako down, and Sneako did stay standing, which, I don't know. I don't think he would have stayed standing for much longer, but like, that was kind of impressive, I got to say, for a guy who's a streamer, who's not a fighter, who doesn't have like a background in fighting. That's actually pretty impressive for him to stay standing like that and not like get mad or emotional or cry at the end. I think he did have tears in his eyes, but I think it was from getting hit in the nose. Yeah, it was interesting to see. It was kind of like, I had mixed feelings about it. I'm like, man, Sean's kind of a jerk for that, but at the same time, when you see the video and you see that Sean was nice to him for like the first 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the round, and then the last 30 seconds when he goes off, you have kind of more context. You're like, all right, Sneako's consenting. They're in there. I mean, I don't know. It's like, did Sneako know that Sean was going to go that hard? Did he know? Was there like an agreement? I mean, did he think he was going to go that hard? Should his team maybe have stepped in a little bit sooner? Was Sean mad at Sneako because they've had a little back and forth before? I don't really know, but it was interesting to see. And one could say it was a little cheap. Like, one could say, like, why did he do that? There's no point to that. He's a streamer. He's not a boxer. What's the point of this? What's the point of trying to take out and knock out some guy who's just trying to get into the scene and film content? And then some could say, well, he stepped in there and it is what it is. I could kind of see both points. It's interesting. Sean does seem to be a guy who really gets off on like, beating you in sparring, which I do think that is a little bit dirty, especially if the other person hasn't like agreed to like, okay, we're going to kill each other. I think there needs to be a conversation, like hey, before we spar, like, I am going to go hard and, I'm going to try to kill you. And if the other person says that's cool, I'll do the same, then it's fine. But if that conversation isn't had, I do think it's a little bit messed up to just like go and try and kill someone. I think that's a little bit, I don't know, it's just a little bit unnecessary. And I think that's going to do Sean bad in his career, do him wrong. I think his coach, when he's around, probably prevents Sean from doing that. But I guess when Sean's sparring with Sneako and, he's talked smack to Sneako before, saying Sneako's like fake and a attention chaser, whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, Sneako definitely has a lot of work to do. I mean, when he started getting beat up, his eyes just closed and he just went into like that defense mode where you're scared and you don't know what to do. And there were times he wasn't even covering up properly. His hands were kind of everywhere. And He wasn't moving well, was just taking shots left and right, didn't know how to clinch Sean to slow him down. You know, Sneako's a beginner, so one could say that was a little bit out of hand, but yeah, you know, props to Sneako, man. I mean, who else is doing content like that right now? Who else is actually stepping in there with a UFC champion like Sean Strickland and actually doing a spar like that with him? You know, a lot of respect for Sneako. You know, a lot of people might say this makes him look bad. How? You know, how? Sean Strickland is a previous UFC champion, beat Israel Adesanya, pretty much one of the best kickboxers to ever come into the UFC and one of the best strikers in MMA history. And, you know, smoked Israel Adesanya, lost a very close decision to Dricus du Plessis, and, you know, is a previous champion. And, you know, there's nothing to be ashamed of. If anything, I think that gives Sneako a lot of credibility, and I think that a lot of people are going to be even bigger fans of Sneako now that he took that, and then he took a picture with Sean and had a good attitude about it afterwards. I'm going to be honest with you. I actually am a bigger fan of Sneako now than I was before. I did like him. I wasn't sure exactly where he was going. I thought sometimes he could be a little clickbaiting, a little bit like just kind of doing it for the attention, doing it for the views, but I like that about Sneako. I like that he's willing to get in there. I think he's one of the better creators. I think he's a creator who leads people and kids to the water, into the well, so to speak, versus leading them to, I don't know, gambling sites in the club, like someone like Nelk. I'm gonna make some videos on Nelk because they're basically getting caught right now for doing some scams and for just like some of the dirty, shady stuff they've been up to as of late has starting to illuminate and come to the surface, come to the forefront, and prevail. So I'll make some videos about them. But I think someone like Sneako is a far better influence than someone like Nelk. So everyone go follow Sneako. Proud of him for being able to take it like that, and good for him. Good for him. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Was that too much? Do you think that Sean took it too far? Do you think Sneako should have, I don't know, quit? Do you think Sean's team should have stopped him? Do you think someone should have intervened? Do you think Sneako deserved it? How do you guys feel? Let me know in the comments below. My name's Angelo. This is The Art of Violence. And until next time.